Hey, good morning and welcome to Breakthrough Walls. I'm Ken Walls and I am your host. And I have a very special guest on today, Mikey B, also known as Mike I knew I was going to screw this up. Mike Bardellini. I think I got it. So, hey, stay with us. We'll be right back. All right. Hey, let's welcome Mikey B to the show. Mikey B, welcome.
Great to be here.
Glad to have you, man. So, as I was telling you before we went live, I started this show 2.5 years ago. I've interviewed tons of celebrities and entrepreneurs, and it's all about helping people get unstuck in life. And I'm our buddy Jay Barry referred you over to me for the show. And so I'm excited to hear your story. Let's start with where you were born and raised.
I was born in Natick, Mass, but 37 years I was in Milford, Mass. That's where I grew up and everything.
So all in Massachusetts?
Yes, all in Massachusetts.
Okay. So you're a huge Steelers fan?
Oh, big time. Especially when they're losing.
Whoa. Well, hey, thanks for being on the show. Oh, man, that's funny. So
we've had of Dynasty. I'm pretty happy about that.
What's that? Say that again.
Oh, I'm happy about the 20 years of Dynasty for the Pats.
Yeah. Definitely. Wow. It's been insane, man. So you were born and raised out there. You went to school there. Did you go to college?
New Hampshire, yes. Plymouth State University.
Okay. What'd you major in? What was your degree in?
Business management.
Okay. So what were some of the things you experienced as a child that kind of formed who you became as an adult?
I think the biggest thing was I got 3 brothers, right? And for some reason, all 3 of them, no matter what they did, they were all like ripped, unbelievable bodies. And I'm the 3rd one from the top. And for some weird reason, I was chubby Mike my whole life. So when I was like, I have to go to the gym, I have to do this, my brothers would be like, we can take the day off. And I was like, I can't. I just so I'm always trying to go to the gym, always trying to get, faster, stronger. So I worked hard, and then I went to college, and same thing, I was a walk-on, played a little bit of football. My senior year, I finally got to start some games. And then I went to college. And then 3 years after college, friend of mine, hey, you want to move to I bought a place in Las Vegas. You want to move there? Yep.
Wow.
So 6 years out there, best 6 years of my life. Wow. I found myself, I guess, so to speak. Worked a couple jobs, then I started personal training. And that really put me over the top because not only was I training clients and helping them get better, I was training myself when I wasn't.
Wow.
So helping people get better. And I told them, train them for life. I don't do bodybuilding. I don't do none of that. I want to help you carry groceries, pick up your kids, all that functional stuff that a lot of people do on a daily basis. So I was happy to do that, and just to see progress with people, I loved it.
And all of this in Vegas?
Yes.
So you were at what, in your 20s?
Yep, I was in Vegas from 2004 to 2010.
Wow.
So I think 2010, I was 32. Yeah, so 26 to 32.
We lived in Vegas for 13 months. Worst 13.
I hated. Oh, sorry about that.
I was gonna say worst 13 months of my life. I'm kidding.
And that's 6 years of my life.
Yeah.
But I gamble, so
yeah,
I didn't have that.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. Now, one of the cool things about living in Vegas, and I think you'll probably agree, is there's so many freaking cool places within a 2-hour drive or so.
Unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. Like the Grand Canyon West is out, 2.5 hours, and Utah is a couple hours away. It's absolutely amazing out there.
I snowboarded Brian Head, so I know I was in Utah. That mountain. Brian Head is
Yep.
Okay, yep.
Yeah, nice. So you were in Vegas until 2010, and then what happened after that?
Oh, my life changed big time. I riding my bicycle. Everything was activity with me. So my knee was a little messed up. So I jumped on my bike. It was like 3 miles maybe to the physical therapist. Jumped on my bike, started going. I'm coming down a steep hill. A car pulls a U-turn illegally, and it's almost like as that car was pulling a U-turn, I'm flying down the hill, and the woman, I looked right in the windshield. The front right tire, the passenger tire, went over the sidewalk almost simultaneous to me flying down the hill. So I tried to dodge it, but went right over the car. Cop thought I was going about 20 miles an hour.
Oh.
He said I rolled over 20 feet, and like any biker, you always put down your arm to brace it. I put down my left arm. I broke my collarbone.
Oh.
And I smashed my head on the ground. And from there on, for a while, I don't remember nothing. But I remember looking right in that car window, and I see it was a girl with black hair, maybe in her 50s, and hit and run, and I lost every which way about it because she was never found, too far away from the traffic light for the camera. And thank God for an older couple that pulled their car sideways so cars couldn't come by.
Wow.
Vegas, everything's 2 lanes at least.
Oh, yeah.
So it rolled me over on my side, and the woman, which I didn't know about, she's rubbing my arm and saying, "It's okay, it's okay." That's like soft touch, soft voice is like the brain injury thing.
Yeah.
And then, the cops are trying to get me over, EMT, and I'm just flipping out. Head injury, I mean, I had no idea what was going on.
Wow.
So rushed me to the hospital. How about this for a kicker? My mother came to visit me 2 days before this accident.
Oh,
and then
wow.
She drives right by it, Ken.
Oh, Lord.
My niece, who was 8 years old, goes, "Nana, that's Uncle Mike's bike." And, 2 lanes, median, 2 lanes. So she's on the other side. She calls my phone because she's like, "Haley, don't joke like that." And she's like, "Nana, that's Uncle Mike's bike." And she calls my phone. The cop sees Mom on it, picks it up. "Your son's been in a terrible accident." And she was like, "I'm following the ambulance." So she whipped around and then made it to Sunrise Hospital. And then from there on out, it was touch and go. So
what do you when you say touch and go, what do you mean? Like
maybe not, I'll live. The trauma doctor was like, let's every little thing, let's just try to get whatever positive we can out of it. And that's the ER doctor. And then, I don't know, maybe 8 hours later, the neurosurgeon who happened, lucky Mike, he happened to be finishing with a 10-year-old boy a brain surgery. So it's kind of like he went from the kid to me, and wow, I mean,
wow. So looks like your buddy Jason is on here.
One of my best friends out there.
That's awesome, man. So and he's in Vegas?
Yes, he is.
Because he says right here, oh, I see his profile picture. That looks like a familiar lake he's on there or something.
Mead, yep.
Yeah. Man, Lake Mead is coming down that hill and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
But so you were out, and how long? So this happened in 2010,
Yep.
and you were in the hospital. And how long was it touch and go?
I want to say the first 10 days because I went from like a coma to the drug induced coma.
Oh my
Because
God.
I was just going crazy and I didn't know what was going on. You know, you got all the tubes and the wires and everything hooked up, and I'm flailing my arms, and then it was like restraints, and then the mitts they put on your hands so you can't pull nothing. So I think it was part of that, and it was part of, you know, me going crazy trying to rip stuff out, and them trying to keep me, you know, sedated, so to speak. So, you know, I'm staying calm. But I don't know what's going on.
Wow, man. Wow. So you were in and out of a coma
Yep.
for how long? 10 days or longer?
Yeah, it was about 10 or 11 days, they told me. But I think after the first couple, it was drug induced because, you know, of
Yeah.
going crazy, you know, so to speak.
Did now this, you said that the brain surgeon came. So did you have to have brain surgery?
Oh, yeah. So, you know, you hit your head and your brain swells.
Yeah.
So it's when your brain swells and it's got nowhere to swell, that's when people die. You know, it's got nothing to do. So the neurosurgeon came in. My mother told him everything. This kid's an athlete. He doesn't do drugs. He doesn't drink all the time, barely at all. You know,
Right.
going through it all, and the doctor was like, "Okay, I appreciate it. It's only going to help." So he removes. I wish I had my haircut. Right side, this whole part. It's like a horseshoe. So he takes that piece of bone off, called bone flap, and lets the brain swell out. And then, like he's telling my mother, he's like, every day, you know, it's a good day as long as we can keep them stable and in decent condition. But getting the cap off was the big thing he told my mother, because if the brain doesn't have room to swell, you know, that's all the bruising and all the blood. It almost drowns itself in the blood.
Good Lord have mercy, dude. Wow.
I'm so happy to be here.
I'll bet you are, man. I'm so happy that you're here. God had some more things in mind for you, I think.
There's no doubt.
So you so after 10 days or so, somewhere in there, it start to stabilize. What happened?
Same thing. They were doing just keeping an eye on me. There wasn't really anything else. Thank God I was in unbelievable shape. So I broke my collarbone. That was it. I say that was it joking, like the head thing was
Yeah.
my God, nothing else happened.
Yeah.
Minus the piece of bone I got taken off my head.
Oh my gosh.
No, I was just in there, you know, I couldn't walk. I had left side semi-paralysis. I was just hooked up, and I don't really remember that much. My mother's out there. She calls my father, my brother, my other two brothers. So they came out within the 10 days. One came out 3 days later. You know, my father came out like 5 days later. My other brother, 9 or 10 days later. My oldest brother comes out on the 9th of July, and his birthday's on the 10th. Happy birthday, Brent.
Wow. Wow. So what date did this happen then? Like July something, it sounds like.
June 25th, 2010.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm
okay.
that day.
Jeez. Dude.
I'm going to physical therapy for my knee, you know, on a bicycle. So I'm thinking, oh, low impact, nice, easy ride, couple miles.
Wow.
Sure enough.
Wow, man. So what part of Vegas was this in?
Henderson.
Oh, was it in Henderson? Wow.
If you know, I was on Eastern Avenue. That's one of the main roads. It's right up 15.
Yep. I know Eastern.
Oh, you do? Okay. So
yeah.
There's a development that was called Inspirata. I was living in that development, and I was heading towards like the Green Valley Ranch.
Yep.
Right there. And right before like Vaughn's was on my right. That's where I hit. I know, illegal U-turn, and how don't you make it? You got 2 lanes to swing around. You can't get everything except the front right side of your car.
So you weren't wearing a helmet, I'm gonna just assume.
That's kind of the fun, well, not funny, but weird part is I wore it every day. But I'm looking at my watch, I'm like, oh damn, it's 4:15, I gotta go. My friend was over, he was going back to school because he was on break, he's a teacher.
Wow.
So, you know, the helmet's right above my bicycle. I jump on the bike, I take off. But the neurosurgeon goes, Mike, do not play that game with yourself. He's like, I can't tell you how much it would have mattered. Your head was still smashed off the concrete. So instead of, you know, it buffering it a little bit, he's like, the brain still slams against the skull, no matter which, you know, no matter which way you think about it. So,
God, man, wow. So, wow, that's unbelievable. It's mind blowing. that sounds terrible to say, but I mean, I'm sitting here like blown away, man. So you, how long were you in the hospital?
Between hospital and then rehab. I mean, they transferred me to like 3 different hospitals. Sunrise ended up not taking my insurance for some reason, so they had to move me. It was like,
oh my God,
to UMC. I'm sure you know that hospital. It's one of the major ones.
Yeah.
And then I went to a Harmon rehab. So from June till September, between hospital, rehab, back to another hospital, they pulled or somebody stepped on my catheter. So that ripped out. That was the worst of the worst. And my brother and mother were like, Mike, your face, they were like, the pain on your face, I don't remember because here I am, you know, sedated with all the drugs. And they said they said we could totally see how bad it was. So, and it took the urologist like 5 or 6 hours to come down. I bled out 2 units of blood. It was tough. And, you know, it was tough probably for my mother and my brothers because I don't remember so much of this. I'm going on what I was told, you know. I'm in the hospital and I'm like, you know, I don't know what's going on.
Wow, man.
They had me on so much because, you know, they take you off the morphine or the propofol I was on, and I just start going crazy because, you know, here I am in restraints. I don't know what's going on. You know?
Did you remember the accident?
The last thing I remember is looking right in that window. That's why everybody's like, oh, why didn't he stop? I go, it was a she. Long black hair, some kind of sedan, maybe like grayish blue. And, you know, you look right in the window. I'll never forget that. Right in the window. And then that was it. I don't remember nothing else from that accident as far as.
And nobody saw her, and she just left the scene.
She just left, you know, and nobody did, which was crazy. You know, there's plenty of cars going up and down those streets, you know, 4:15 in the afternoon. You know, I couldn't, I don't know how, but.
Wow.
You know, nowadays everybody thinks they're going to get sued or everything. So maybe she had that in her head and she didn't want nothing to do with it. Which, you know, at least call 911. She didn't even do that. I had this older couple that stopped and did it all. Everything.
Wow. And when you were like, so you were laying there, broken collarbone, a brain injury. Were you unconscious or were you conscious?
I guess I was conscious in the word that, like, I was moving around. I'm fighting the cops, the EMTs.
Really?
They're trying to grab me and put me on the stretcher, and I wasn't having it. One of my doctor friends, who happened to be really, really good friends with the neurosurgeon, he calls my mom and he's like, "Tell your son to stop beating all my cop friends up."
You're like, I have a physical therapy appointment to get to, you guys.
fighting all these EMTs and cops. It's like, that's brain injury for you, I guess, from what I've read and what I've been told. I don't know what's going on. I just know I didn't want to be restrained at all.
Oh, yeah. Well, wow, man. So you were what would you call that? Consciously unconscious, I guess, or
Yeah, I mean, I don't even I don't even know what you would call it, right? Is that kind of what you would say? Like, I didn't know what was going on, but I'm moving around, I'm fighting people, you know.
wow.
It was all the restraint thing. That's it. The woman who came upon me, I was on the ground, probably roasting, frying up like an egg. I had no shirt on either, so I'm
Oh, dude, what?
there with my back on the ground, and the woman, she turned me on my side, and she sat there, Mike, it's okay. Well, she didn't know my name. She was like, it's okay, it's okay. And she was just rubbing my arm, just
Oh,
nice
wow.
and soft. And I just laid there. And then the cops, get up, get him on the stretcher. And she goes, Mike, you just went bonkers.
Wow.
Soft voice, soft touch. I'll never forget that.
Are you still friends with her today?
Oh yeah. Every time I go to Vegas once a year. I didn't get
really
this year because of pandemic. Oh yeah, I mean, I got a place to stay. I made a lot of unbelievable friends out there, like unbelievable people that would invite me over. Mike, you can stay with me every time you come out. So,
dude, I wouldn't ride a bike on Eastern Avenue if I had a full body armor on. Like
sidewalk, that's the killer.
I mean, come on, Eastern Avenue is like one of the busiest roads in Vegas, man.
Yeah, it really is.
And here you are, like, I'm gonna go with no shirt, no helmet, nothing. Let's roll, dude. That's crazy.
Yeah,
but okay, so you were how long did you say you were in the hospital and the
rehab? Rehab. So I had the bone taken off in June 26th, I think. And then I had the bone put back on because they take it off. They send it to a hyperbaric chamber over in California.
What?
And I know, it's weird. It's like a freezer. My neurosurgeon goes, Mike, you're going to have a barcode on your skull, kind of joking with me. And then they put it back on the late August because they had to wait for the brain to stop swelling, everything go down.
Oh my God.
So they put it back on. And then, I think I went home mid-September.
Dude,
they like a test where they have these plugs in your ears and they pop to simulate flying on a plane. So once I could deal with that, I was okay to fly back home because we got Boston and we got the best hospitals in the country. So I did all my outpatient rehab back here.
Dude, so wow. I'm just trying to, so I assume they keep some kind of a bandage or covering on your, like, it's not just your brain sticking out of your head, right?
They flap your skin back over.
Oh,
got the skin, they flap it over, then they take the bone off.
Golly.
And they flap it back, and then they bandage it, staple it.
Good God. I don't even, I mean, how do you deal with that, man? I don't even know how you like process that.
It's like, I don't know, on a daily basis, I'm so happy to be alive. And
I'm sure, man.
Family and friends have been unbelievable.
Wow.
Any help you need, Mike, bawling my eyes out. Friends, I got friends driving down from New Hampshire, from Wilmington, in town. Come over and give me a hug, just Mike,
Wow.
I got friends. Oh, Mike, you helped me when I was in high school, and these people I haven't talked to in 15 years. I just want to help. Friends have been and family have been a big thing, especially all the days crying. I can go from crying to laughing in a second.
Wow. Man, dude. So you so you said you got back to Massachusetts. Is it Boston or
No, Milford, Mass is where I live.
Okay, Milford.
But I was going into Boston because that's
Okay.
where the hospital's at.
Gotcha. I thought you said something about Boston, but you get back to Mass in September.
Yeah, mid-September-ish, about that.
And they put your skull back together in August.
Yeah, he put that on probably like a month, I think, before I came back.
They don't have freezers in Vegas?
I guess not.
So they come in
a bone bank. So it was put in a bone bank.
What?
I know.
What the? Okay.
Well, what they used to do is they put it in your stomach because that'll feed it, the blood, the nutrients, and all that, so the bone doesn't die. Instead, they put mine because of infection reasons. They sent it to the bone bank.
So the surgeon comes in and says, "All right, dude, we're gonna put you back together. Just gotta call the bone bank and get your."
Yeah, they had to do it the night before to let it thaw out. Yep. I get up and laugh because it literally says it in the doctor notes. Brought it in the night before to thaw. I'm sure they didn't use thaw out, but that's kind of what they were saying in their own terminology.
Oh my God. I love the fact that you can laugh about it, man.
Oh, if I don't laugh, I could cry. So
wow.
No way. Positive attitude, positive results.
I love that, dude. So you get back and what were, like, when you got back to Massachusetts, what were some of the, because you said you had to go to rehab.
Yeah.
What were some of the challenges that you were having as a result of all of this?
Well, it was a lot of cognitive. That's a big time, a lot of cognitive. But physically, I was in great shape, but I had the semi-paralysis on the left side, which we did a lot in Vegas in the time I was there. But then my arm and my hand was all curled up for some reason. Like going to the gym, I almost had to like pry my fingers open, and then they'd like close on a dumbbell or whatever. That was kind of weird. My hand was just stuck.
Wow.
And just physical therapy, regular. Occupational and speech therapy what I really needed,
So were you was it your, which side, which hand, left hand or right?
Yeah, left. Right side brain injury, it affects the left side.
Jeez. So, and is that the side you broke your collarbone?
No, I broke left side collarbone.
Oh, okay.
Which is weird. Yeah. I don't know why. It just must have been instinct just to throw my left arm out.
So you wow, man. So when you were going through this physical therapy, I'm just wondering how much was there any, did you have any anger that you had to deal with towards the lady?
My friend asked me that, and the only thing I could say, like, he goes, if she was sitting in front of you right now, what would you say to her? And I mean, all I could say is, why? Why didn't you call 911? That would have meant a lot of difference to me, at least.
Yeah.
My anger isn't going to do nothing for me. It's not going to change what happened. So, if I'm doing well, I don't gotta, I guess I don't gotta be mad. I could say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. The anger thing was just kind of like, why not me? I didn't ask why. I was just like, why not? Maybe the next person couldn't have handled it. So I don't know. Maybe if somebody was walking and they got hit, they could have passed.
Yeah.
I love life so much, man.
Dude.
I am going nowhere.
I freaking love it, man. I love what Jason says here. Spartan race every year in Vegas with him. Always want to say no, but how can you when Mikey goes through hell and back? You don't say no. That's freaking. You do the Spartan race every year?
Oh yeah, I've done. This is what makes me the proudest, because a lot of myself is physical activity, everything. So 1 year to the day of my accident, a friend of mine, let's go do a warrior dash, 5K obstacles, jumping, climbing, running, ducking. She takes me to that on 2011. 2014, I do my first Spartan race. And between that, half marathons, 30-mile races in the mountains, I've done almost 70. I mean, that's when somebody calls me, he's like, Mike, I'm going to do a race in a second. I'll be there. I love it. Physical activity.
Wow, dude. Like nothing is going to keep you down. I love that.
I got a positive attitude, and I'm glad I acquired it, throughout the years. So positivity is just, I think it's a big deal when it comes to stuff, Tell people something very traumatic happened to me, but all trauma doesn't have to end in a bad story. So, hey, I got a good story right here.
Oh my God, you have an unbelievable story.
Good story too. It's not over.
Dude, you have, it's not a good story, it's an unbelievable story. Like, it's incredible. So you have so when people, do you ever hear people complain?
Oh yes. Somebody always has it worse. That's all I can think in my head.
Yeah.
You're complaining about this little nothing, and I'm not complaining.
Yeah. Yeah. How did we start off this how did we start before we went live? You came on and you said, I can't straighten my neck out, right? But you,
yeah, it's weird because people are always like, straighten your head out, and I'm like, it is straight, but I gotta do kind of one of these.
Yeah.
So that's kind of funny to me, but straighten your head. I'm like, it is.
Yeah, dude, you are such an inspiration. What do you think? Here you went through something most people will never have to experience. And you laugh about having your skull removed and shipped off to a freezer unit in California. That's crazy to me. Just that part alone is like, you sent part of my head to California and I'm in Vegas in the hospital. What's wrong with you people? But so it just blows my mind, man. So when you hear people complain, when you hear people talk about how tough their life is, what would you say to somebody right now? Because with the coronavirus and all there's a lot of people suffering, man. I mean, but what do you say to those people that are like in that place of life sucks and it's just bad for me? What do you say to them?
I always mention the positive thing. I think it's big time, but I know, and I do realize it's all relative to the person, but it's just like, it'll get better. It's just, whatever you're going through, try to look on the bright side. This pandemic isn't going to last forever, and that, I don't know. I just feel like, look towards something that makes you happy. Anything, your kids, you get more time to spend with them, whether or not they're pains in the asses or not. But you get more time with them.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just like, I would have to have that person like in my face, and then I could be like, all right, maybe we can do this, or maybe I could give you a phone call just to lift your spirits.
Yeah.
I can't complain. I was in a support group where they got 24-hour caretakers. These kids are in helmets, wheelchairs. And I'm like, what am I complaining about? I can't complain.
So are you back to, I don't want to say back to normal, but are you back to, I mean, where are things for you now physically and all of that? Are you able to, I mean, it sounds like you can run. you're doing races.
Oh yeah, I can run and I can climb and all that stuff. I love like the American Ninja Warrior stuff. That's what I really love doing. I don't got to be in the gym with weights, but if I'm climbing a tree or climbing a rope up a tree, you know, crawling under barbed wire is some of the obstacles, carrying 50, 60-pound bags up,
Dude.
up 100 yards up a mountain. I don't know. Being outside doing it is
why? What's driving you to do that?
just to try to make myself personally better, and it's always to show people bad things happen. They don't have to end bad. You know, I mean, I could have just chalked it up and, you know, cried about it all the time, which I do, you know, daily. I get teared up and stuff. It's just, but it's all part of it. I just say, hey, I chalk it up to the brain injury and I own it is the big thing. I really own the change in me. Cognitive, I get frustrated with the cognitive stuff and understanding some stuff. And I got a friend. I got another friend, Mike. This is how it goes, you know, explaining it to me. So that stuff really helps. Physically, I mean, it's what I am. You know, I'll do anything. And the more you give me to do, the happier I am. Because I'm working. I don't have time to think about what happened.
Wow, man, you are an inspiration, dude. I can't like. I'll never complain about anything ever again, ever.
Yeah, but you know the kicker to me coming home in 2010, right? In 2012, I get an infection in the bone.
Where? What bone?
The bone they put back on.
Come on.
The doctor told me, he goes, it's like acne. He goes, but it happened to get into your bone. So then what happens? Another surgery, take the bone out. That time it got thrown away. And they do the whole CAT scan and then they put a prosthetic on.
I
still get that on.
Wait, they threw the bone. They had to throw the bone away?
I guess for government, whatever the government laws, they have to. I begged my doctor. I go, I want that. Please, please. He goes, Mike, no. He goes, this is government regulated. He goes, I can't. You know, they give you the hardware and stuff, which I didn't have any because, I don't know, they just put it on and it's like they sewed it and then the stitches just, you know, they just go away. But, hey, how about, there's funny part to this. So I have the bone off, right, and I'm at home. My niece now, what is she, 12 or something? Haley, give me your hand. I take her hand and I'd put it right on my head. Of course, it's right on the brain because all that is a flap of skin. And then you know, like that, and it pulsate. Boom, boom. Oh my God, the kids were dying, laughing. Oh my God, get all freaked out. But whatever I could do to make somebody else laugh, and
oh my God,
I got a kick out of it too. You know?
Oh my God.
And then they fail. I'm like, that's my brain. No. So that gave me a kick, you know.
Wow.
Seeing little kids, you know, laughing, joking. I love it.
Dude, that is wow. You are I've never met anyone like you, man. Like I'm lost for words. Like I can't, like there's so many things. Like how does it feel different with? You said they put a prosthetic. Like, does it feel different? I don't.
No, everything feels the same, and I guess I don't know prosthetics too, but it'll mend to your bone, just like bone mends to bone.
Wow.
The side, I mean, I feel like it's like a little flatter than the other side of my head, but I've been able to get a haircut in 3 months, so I'm just letting it grow whatever. I'll tighten it up like yours soon, Ken.
Oh my God. So you wow, I mean, honestly, look, had you not told me that you had this accident, I wouldn't know. I'd just be like, hey, this is some cool dude with a thick Boston accent I'm talking to.
No, that's like a joke, so to speak, in the brain injury community. It's like, you look fine. You look fine, and you look at me, you'd be like, you look fine. I go, yeah, but what goes on upstairs is not fine. Not
Wow.
at all.
Wow. So what do you think holds most people back in life?
Probably just being scared or fearful. Like, oh, if I try this, what if? The what ifs. It's always what if.
Yeah.
The only thing I say is, listen, if I'm not going to die doing whatever you ask me to, that's all I care about. I've jumped off a hotel into the ocean when I went with my buddy down to St. Martin. He did it first, so he lived, so I figure I'd live. Just, as long as anything, as long as I know I won't die, I'll do anything. It does not matter. Well, obviously not hurting somebody, but
wait, the jumping off the hotel was before the accident.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay. I'm like, dude, you're not jumping off of hotels right now, are you?
My doctor told me, he goes, even whiplash could be devastating. So I never did the skydive. I would have loved to have done that. If I was in a car accident, the whiplash from that. So none of that's happened. So I'm good. As long as my brain isn't smashing against my skull, I'm all good.
Wow, man. So there's still the chance of so you're more susceptible to brain injury now than most other people, or?
I guess so, yeah, because I still have a scar on my brain.
Oh.
So that's where the epilepsy came in, because it's trying to send the messages through the scar, and I think that's when the seizure. Yeah, I got epilepsy from it too.
Gee, many Christmas, man. Yet your attitude is so positive.
Thank you, Aaron.
Wow.
Reason to be there, and I told you, family and friends and love. It's just, I'm not in this alone. I know that.
So do you work? Do you do anything like?
Right now, I'm still on disability. I got all my medical stuff.
Yeah.
But I help. It's like friend will call me. Hey, I gotta. I'm building a stone wall. You want to help out? Like anything. That's what I love doing. Give me something physical. Don't expect me to know how to do it on my own.
Yeah.
I said, hey, you point me in the right direction. Just say, Mike, do that. I said, that's what works best.
Jeez, man. It just blows me away. I'm completely blown away by your attitude, and it's unbelievable.
You invite me on. I think, first time I've been on a podcast. So,
man, I'm very, very grateful that you came on and you've shared. I mean, anybody watching this, whether you're watching it live or listening to it on a podcast platform, or if you have anything to complain about, I think you need to look up Mike on Facebook and just send him a direct message with your complaint about your life and have a conversation with him. I'm just saying.
Sure, I'd love it. If I can turn your day around, call me.
My buddy Weldon Whitehurst said his dad got cancer in the bone. They had to cut it out and made a flap with a muscle from his shoulder. It was wild to watch it pulse.
Yeah.
Wow. Sounds like he's been through some similar things, but man, you are an inspiration. Your story needs to be told more, man. Do you do live streaming and stuff, talking to people?
I don't. There was a book, actually a friend of mine, best friend from high school, his mother wrote it. I got home and here I am. I'm just seeing all my friends back in Milford and stuff. He throws me a benefit, and his mother was like, Mike, I want to tell you a story. And I was like, that's great. Because it's a good one. It's not bad. So And anything good, anything positive somebody could take from the book that came out? Left for Dead: From Surviving to Thriving.
Wow. That's your friend wrote.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, your friend's mother, you said, wrote the book?
Yeah, she was a teacher her whole life, and she had written 2 books beforehand. So, she's an author already.
So she wrote a book about your story.
Oh yeah, from the accident, from Nana, that's Uncle Mike's bike, and then all the way up until took us about 7 years. So it just came out a month ago.
Wow. So do you ride bikes?
Yep.
Of course you do.
I have to. It's not. I can't do the scared thing. I'm all over my shoulder for sure, but and I ride on the road now too. I see. The bike lanes are a little bit better. And,
wow, man.
I got to, because my knees are a little right now. I like to ride the bike and then do the race.
Yeah.
I've done like 3 30-mile races in the mountains, and to push yourself to the limit. And, even when I'm dying and I'm like, stop, I'm like, what I think to myself? This is the weird thing. I'm like, you'll disappoint all those people that supported you throughout it all. Those are the mind games I play with myself. I'm like, You've come so far. You've come so far. Don't disappoint anybody. If I stop, I'll disappoint people. In my head, I'll disappoint people. And I would hate to do that. Won't do that ever.
What an unbelievable human being you are, man. It's such an empowering story. If somebody called you right now and they said, Mike, my car was repoed last week. My electric's being shut off tomorrow. I don't have any money. I don't know what to do. My life sucks. What would you say to them in that moment to help them get through? Because look, man, there's a lot of people that are ending their lives because of this craziness going on. What would you say to that person in that moment?
I would just say, can we try to find the good things that are going on in your life? If whatever it is, anything. Is my phone.
I love that ringtone.
That's a Wild West. I tell when they, you get like 4 or 5 of those in a row. I'm like, just look for Clint Eastwood. He's coming down on a.
I love it, man. That's awesome.
So I always try to tell people, just try to find some kind of positive that's going on. I know there's a whole bunch of crap going on, but I mean, it's hard because it's all relative to the person and their attitude about life. All I can tell you is, not be happy in the situation, but is there anything positive you can find? Can you hold out? A lot of people are going through what you're going through.
Yep.
Let's just try to find something good, not from it, but something good that you actually have in your life right now before this pandemic. I tell you, it ruined my trip to Vegas. I was going March 17th. Oh man. And like a week before, sure enough, I had to cancel it.
Wow.
And my neurologist begged me not to go. That's another reason. He's like, if you don't have enough medicine or you get stuck out there, he goes, what are you going to do? I was like, you can write my prescription and send it out there. He's like, doesn't work like that.
Why were you going out there for the race?
Yep. Every year in March with my friend Jason Wayrich. Every year run it. They call it Las Vegas, but it's in Mesquite.
Okay.
They have it. Mesquite, Littlefield, Arizona border there. It's like
my wife's cousin and his wife live up in Mesquite. We've been up there. It's again beautiful up there. Just beautiful.
It is
amazing. Dude, you are an inspiration. I hope your story gets out to millions because I think you can help millions of people. You are an absolute rock star in my book. I thank you for coming on here today. If you're just joining, make sure you go back. You want to see the replay of this. I promise you, it is inspiring. And go pick up the book on Amazon that your friend's mother wrote about your story. Left for Dead.
Left for Dead: From Surviving to Thriving.
From Surviving to Thriving. Unbelievable, man. Absolutely unbelievable story. You are a rock star. Thank you for coming on. I'm going to end the live stream, but stay with me if you would.
Yep.
And then you and I will chat afterwards. So thank you to everyone who's been on here, to any of you that shared this out. If you haven't shared this out, stop being selfish and share it out so someone you know that's suffering can be inspired by Mikey's story. Mikey, you freaking rock. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Likewise, bro. All right, we'll see you.